Every year, more than 3,500 Madison, Wisconsin community members experience homelessness. The faces of adult men and women in poverty may first come to mind, but children are also affected by this alarming statistic. In the last school year, 1,168 children qualified for homeless services from the Madison Metropolitan School District. In 2012, 881 children spent at least one night in emergency shelter. It can happen to anyone. Homelessness is blind to race, gender, creed, and age. Losing a job with no prospects in sight leads to missed bills and no financial resources for basic needs. Before long, you have no place to call home. 3 community leaders went undercover in the name of change. Posing as homeless people in the fall of 2013, Director of the Salvation Army, Will Green, grocery chain owner Tim Metcalfe, and CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, Michael Johnson, wanted to experience poverty and homelessness firsthand with the goal of seeking a solution to a serious community problem.
To see how homeless children and families are living on the streets of Madison, Wisconsin.
I'm hoping to just learn what the humility of being on the street is, what it's like.
I'm hoping to learn from this experience, where do people go when that winter months come, and how do they live, how did they get into these situations.
And we're hoping to befriend a family and help to pull a family off the streets into permanent housing.
Being in need means asking for handouts, sleeping under a bridge, being hungry, and depending on the kindness of strangers. It's a taste of what Will, Tim, and Michael experienced in their several days-long project, but it's merely a sampling of a normal day for anyone living on the streets. Homeless or not, living in poverty can mean not knowing where the next meal is coming from. 15.4% of children in Dane County live in poverty. The number has increased 44% between 2008 and 2012. Food banks help, but for many, busy street corners are hubs for begging. While some people might ignore the problem, walking by or choosing not to help, no one was ever rude or mean to the 3 men undercover. Individuals provided spare change and leftovers from recent restaurant meals. Managers at local restaurant chains were eager to serve hot meals to these fellows in apparent need. One restaurant manager even said a prayer with Tim and offered a meal coupon so that he could have guaranteed food in his future.
I called the manager, and the manager's name was Jessica. Jessica said that she couldn't give me a dinner or couldn't give me food, but she would buy me food. So Jessica, the manager here, basically bought me dinner, bought me a cup of coffee, gave me that. I ate, I thanked her, and then as I was leaving, she gave me a slice of pie to walk home with. And then after I left, she actually chased me out in the parking lot and gave me a coupon for the same thing I just had. Jessica, all I can say is thank you, and God bless you. You're a miracle.
Generosity was abundant in this Midwestern city. Tim and Michael visited City Hall to get to know the local homeless people and hear their stories.
Whatever you said.
Well, yeah, they hook you up with housing and everything. I'm already on the list, so I have to do something.
On the second night, Will, Tim, and Michael joined the nearly 3,400 individuals of 2012 to make use of Dane County shelter services. The men were lucky not to be among the more than 1,600 individuals to be turned away from a shelter due to lack of space and bed availability. Many Dane County shelters now have waiting lists. For those who make the cut, a warm bed, a meal, a hot shower, and laundry facilities may be available. Will, Tim, and Michael found respite from a chilly autumn night, but the stories told by the men, women, and children sleeping around them were worth more than any warm place to sleep. Some in shelters are homeless, hungry, and in need for the first time in their lives. Others know this way of living all too well. Throughout the state, the rate of Wisconsin children living in high poverty has increased 3 times the national average.
You know, that listening to some of those stories in that shelter, some of the pride that those guys had, you know, it was life-changing, definitely life-changing.
Shinotra and her 4 children have come to call their vehicle home.
What keeps you motivated despite your current circumstances?
My children.
So what do you do to keep your family's spirits up in this hard time?
We pray a lot.
You talked to me earlier about how when you were in the shelter, your children's dad left and left you alone. How did that make you feel at that time?
What am I going to do now? How am I going to support this family?
The donations collected by the Undercover community leaders were not used to help them through their days on the streets or their time in the shelter. Instead, this single mother and her children received a special life-changing gift.
What was the most difficult part of the homeless situation for you and your children?
Having nowhere to go. Sleeping in my truck.
The leaders called for favors from others in the community to help this mother of 4 find employment, credit history help, and the ability to provide for her family. She and her children no longer sleep in a van and have secured permanent housing. Shinotra and her 4 children have a new life ahead of them because of these gracious donors. Credit recovery, case management services, and rent covered for 1 year, supported by the road home of Dane County and the Great Dane Pub. A fully furnished apartment donated by Fiskars and Saris. A full-time job with benefits provided by Metcalfe's Market. Ask yourself, how can you make a difference? By paying it forward. Volunteer. Visit volunteeryourtime.org. Donate. Support local housing organizations. Porch Light, The Road Home, YWCA, Salvation Army, Habitat for Humanity, Stone Soup, Friends of State Street Family, and United Way. Advocate. Contact your local Dane County Board of Supervisors, Madison City Council, state legislative, senator, or federal representative.